Guys, I'm really happy to welcome to the podcast my friend Chris Widener. He's in the field of personal development, motivational speaking. He's one of the top guys in this field, really in the world. And he's written a whole bunch of books, more than 20, which have been translated into all kinds of languages. He's a staunch conservative, founder of the Red Referral Network, a national conservative business network. That's what we're going to talk about. And his website, the website is redreferralnetwork.com, redreferralnetwork.com. Chris, thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it. I've known you for quite a while. We were doing some events together across the country. And then you came to me and we talked about this new idea that I find very intriguing and very powerful. And we're actually going to team up on this, but I want you to be the guy who sort of introduces it for my audience and explains it. The Red Referral Network, what is it?
Yeah, sure. Basically what it is, and you are the genesis of this, really having for years talked about parallel economies, right? And so really what this comes down to is how do we take conservatives and help them do business with one another? And because right now I feel like, why should we continue to give our money to people who hate us or who are going to use our money against us? And for the most part right now, what we do as conservatives is we shake our fists at the radio or the television, say, this is horrible. And then occasionally we say, I'm never shopping at Target again. I'm never shopping at Starbucks again. But what about all the billions of dollars that conservatives give to local businesses that then are used against us? So the basic idea is this: put together local groups all across America. They meet weekly. They're conservatives and they drive business to one another because they share the same common values. And that money's not going to be turned around and used against you.
I mean, this to me is intriguing on many levels, but one of them is, as you know, Chris, I came to the United States as an exchange student. It was an exchange program sponsored by the Rotary Club. And so the Rotary Club of Bombay, India, essentially was in partnership with the Rotary Club near Tucson, Arizona, and we were exchanging students. Now, I was not familiar with Rotary, but when I would talk to people in Rotary here in the United States and ask them, like, what is Rotary about? They would typically say things, well, Rotary does a lot of civic stuff. They adopt highways. They obviously organize an international exchange program. But as I observed Rotary meetings, I realized that there was, in fact, a kind of primary and other motive. And it was actually a very good motive, which is that people in a community, a real estate guy, a car salesman, a school principal, people from the business community all joined the same organization where they would get to know each other and then they would refer business to each other. So if I need a plumber, there's a guy who is in Rotary who's a plumber. I'm going to be like, hey, why don't you come and fix my, do the work I need at my business or at my house? So it seems in some ways that in our ideologically polarized environment, this is really the same concept, but now focused on conservatives. Would that be right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's always been groups like this, Rotary, Kiwanis. In fact, I have a friend who's a conservative, ran for governor a couple times. He always said Rotary's for conservatives and Kiwanis is for liberals. But you've got the Lions Club and you've got a big company called BNI, Business Networking International. And the whole idea is to get together and to share business with one another. And, I think even 7 years ago, Red Referral Network would not have been at the right timing, because even 7 years ago, before President Trump came on the scene, we didn't see the kind of vitriol that we see now. And so I believe, and I know you do as well, as we partner together on this, it's time to put conservatives together in a room every week, referring business to one another. And I'll give the listeners just a practical way of thinking about this. Let's say you need a new roof on your house, $30,000. You pay that money to a liberal roofer. He takes $3,000 of that and he gives it to the Biden re-elect campaign, or I think it's going to be the Gavin Newsom campaign. And he gives him the money, and then that person has a national stage to stand up and say, by the way, Chris Widener and Dinesh D'Souza are racist, homophobic, transphobic, sexist, insurrectionists. I paid for that. When I got my roof done, I paid for my own demise. Or as a friend of mine said, it's like tipping your executioner. Hey, you're going to kill me? Here's $100. Thanks a lot. So it's really about giving our money to people who believe the same things that we do. And frankly, it's been happening for a long time. Mormons do it. Jewish people do it. Amish people do it. I live in outside of Chattanooga.
Hindus do it.
This community, Seventh Day Adventist. Yeah, lots of people do it. Let's give our money. I say it. Let's keep our money in-house. Let's give it to people who share our values and are going to donate some of that to politicians and organizations that believe in the same thing we do.
I mean, I think what's so practical and sensible about this is like, let's say, for example, somebody says, I don't like giving money, to Amazon, or let's say to Target. Obviously, one solution that jumps to mind is we start a conservative Amazon or we start a conservative Target. And there are some people trying to do those things, but it's so obvious, those are not easy to do. I mean, Amazon has perfected its business model. Say what you will about its ideology. It's a heck of a company. They get you your stuff. I mean, even if you order something large, it's on your door the next day. So to be able to create a rival Amazon, or let alone a rival Harvard, is not going to be easy. But your approach is much simpler, which is to say in towns and cities around the country, let's say Phoenix, Arizona, you have a Red Referral network and people in all walks of life, different types of business join. Now they pay a modest monthly fee, but isn't the point that fee, whatever it is, $10 a month or whatever, is going to pale before the kind of economic benefit they get by meeting people from all walks of life who can do business with them? So if you're a real estate guy, you stand to make so much more in selling a single home than you would ever turn over in fees to the Red Referral Network. Isn't that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's free to register with the Red Referral Network. And there's lots of things that are going to be happening and lots of great information. There's only a cost if you decide to join one of the local groups. And the local groups are $35 a month. And we priced it. There are other groups that charge $75 a month, $50 a month. And when we were putting this together, we thought, okay, let's price it so that if one person gets one referral all year long, it pays for the entire thing. So $35 a month is, $420 a year. If you sell one house as a real estate agent, you've now paid for about 10 years worth of your membership to the Red Referral Network. We very specifically looked at that and said, what would bring the most value to people? And that's the price point that we came up at. It is the cheapest that I've seen in this entire industry because we want people to get involved and start doing business with one another.
I'll be right back with Chris Widener. Debbie and I are on a really good health journey, but we still struggle to eat enough fruits, veggies, and fiber. And those are, of course, a requirement. Now, lucky for us, we discovered Balance of Nature, and there's no better way to get all your fruits and veggies plus fiber than with Balance of Nature. Here's Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule, so easy to take, made from fresh whole produce. The produce is powdered after an advanced vacuum cold process, which stabilizes the maximum nutrient content. And here's Balance of Nature's Fiber and Spice, a proprietary blend of fiber and 12 spices for overall and digestive health. Join Debbie and me. Start your journey to better health right now. Call 800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. You get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code America. Again, it's balanceofnature.com or call 800-246-8751. Get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code America.